took till early this morning. That pushes everything back which was planned. Hence, I am not gonna be running for on-time delivery scheduled as planned today. Maybe sometime between 14 and 1500 hours. If nothing else comes in between it at the receiver. And then one or two things gonna happen today. My dispatch already communicated the delay behind the scenes, which I'm currently not aware of if he had or not. I left him a message and updated him, so could I be possibly working today? Or the receiver's gotta tell me you need to contact your dispatch or broker and reschedule an appointment. So we shall see. It's gonna be one of the two happening, but that is trucking. Doesn't happen often that way, but on occasion it's just part of that profession. Strategies to build generational wealth, and may hold even sessions for those that do want to learn how to escape the rat race regardless of their current income and living situation. What you earn that makes a difference over the course of time. And there's many options out there available. You can either start up your own business after doing research, marketing strategies, and so on and so forth, but that requires a huge amount of upfront capital. The other way is invest globally into existing businesses, and become a owner on paper of such businesses. Via the stock market on publicly traded businesses, which are also known as paper-backed securities. Just about any sector you can think of. Another way would estate properties, whether it's commercially or private, and have tenants in it that would generate you monthly income, and how it should be is what you charge your tenants, that you calculate in it the mortgage payment that is charged to you behind the scenes for the property, plus some upcharge in it, and pass on to the tenants as well water, sewer, and trash, all utility bills that they have to automatically get into their name. So that they not only pay the mortgage for you on that property, but also give you X amount a month within reason after your expenses on profit, that you can take to reinvest or pay for your lifestyle for with it. Many options are out there, especially on what's known as the buy, borrow, die strategies, which is fairly simple. I mean, they all have their own risks involved. Depending on which asset classes you're taking a security-backed line of credit against, and what you do then with that money, which that money is tax-free. However, you have to repay it plus interest over time. Now, if you use that money to invest into further income generating assets around the globe, you get to write off the interest rate on it against your expenses, tax on the repayment, well, not tax, but on the repayment. Or you can take half off what you took out as a line of credit for your personal lifestyle, and the other portion to reinvest, which means then only half of the all over repayments on everything regarding interest rate you get to write off still. And the other half of that interest rate you get not to write off. Hence it is then for personal use. Those strategies are very well understood and used by the 1% that know how the tax code is written and how to pay the least amount in taxes, which is not evading taxes, it's avoiding taxes, especially if you have a really good tax account that go through through your investment strategies. And as long as you do not sell any of your properties or businesses, you cannot be charged the also known capital gains tax. Now, and if you in turn reinvest any of the incomes on your assets into the businesses, into the properties, all that kind of stuff, then you also do not pay any taxes on that, because on paper you basically didn't make any money. Even so, your bank account tells a totally different story. Those are just the ways to get around it regarding how the tax code is written now. Capitalism of the financial world. Now, I myself have invested in companies that own and manage globally real estate properties on the private and commercial sector that pay me like clockwork, and when I'm getting paid like clockwork, I have automatically reinvested into the businesses, furthering my positions. I invested also in the energy sector, like the oil and gas industry. I invested in bonds. Airline sector, Walmart, Costco, the tech sector, mining sector, just to name a few, via the publicly traded companies. Just in my case, not invested just in United States economy, I'm invested globally, which is the intentional global diversification that I did. I also hold there's a different form of hard savings, hedge funds if you will, physical gold, silver, and numismatics in my portfolio, actually my personal vault. But all of that, my entire strategy is based on never selling anything, but only keep utilizing the buy, borrow, die strategy, which essentially is being your own bank if you set it up correctly. you do not even have to use like bank owners, life insurance policies,
19 minutes of delay we're adding to your route.
which is a well-known strategy of the Rockefellers. That essentially all you're doing is you're buying a infinite life insurance policy which invests into bonds, and you let the capital within build up the value, and then at some point you can take a security line of credit against that portfolio, and you collecting the interest that you're paying back yourself with that strategy into your own insurance policies. When you're paying all that back, and that also is tax-free. So there's few options and few ways to create and build not only financial freedom but also wealth for generations. And if you then hold all of it in trust, which protects all of it, you can also set it up in a way where you can instruct for the time after yourself pass who gets which portion of all these assets within your portfolio and how they ought to be handled. Everything set forth with a legal document which has to be followed down to the letter. So that would prevent that the state gets to decide what will happen with your assets once you pass for one. And it also will prevent that any of your heirs who are beneficiaries kind of throw it all out of the window, basically. Spend it all. So there's a lot of benefits to building a portfolio in regards to the buy, borrow, die strategy. Always should also hold in a high yield savings account other portions of money for immediate liquid accessibilities if unforeseen emergencies happen, so you do not have to dip into the assets, which the assets are all for long-term gain. want-haves down the road. That is the mindset you need to develop. Keep living below your means. That is how you're going to build wealth and keep wealth. If you invest into garments, clothing, you should invest into the garments made of natural materials, good quality, which put the ensemble and wardrobe together in the old money styles. Unless you want to keep following fashion trends, which is pretty much man-made material, mainly big logos, and becoming a brand name walking billboard. Classic styles. Classic refers to the dress code as well. Is where you invest into quality items that have an upfront higher price tag, but are so well made. If you take really good care of them, that includes footwear, headwear, all that good stuff. It will last you a lifetime and beyond. Versus the fashion trends. Fashion trends are mainly made out of synthetic fibers, and that is where you spend your hard-earned money onto the quantity versus the quality in the long run. Or in other ways, you end up spending more money on your wardrobe in the long run than you would with high quality made items. When it comes to credit cards, I recommend, if you do have credit cards, to get them paid off as quick as possible. Because of the high interest rates, and then future use of credit cards. Utilize them smart. Do not carry any balances over. Whatever you charge on your credit card, pay that in full in one shot. At or slightly before billing cycle due date. And that way you will avoid 20 some or 30 some percent interest on payments trying to pay that borrowed money back down. Credit cards can be a really good thing if you use them wisely, because they not only raise your personal credit score, which just shows the financial banking system how you can handle debt. In that case, I'm referring to bad debt, as it's not, putting money into your pocket. That's why it's bad debt. But on the flip side, on that coin, a great personal credit score plus investment portfolio combined give you even more options and opportunities, because you could get then a mortgage for the physical real estate, as I mentioned, and turn that bad debt into good debt just by putting tenants in that property. So that's just a thing to keep in mind. On how that all works. Because money or currency is nothing but a tool. Now what you make of it, that makes the difference between being frustrated and calm and collected. The whole system is designed to focus for generations and generations just on spending your hard-earned money immediately on one-halves that you did not even know that you wanted to have. That is where the where sound and color and all of that plays into it in the self-psychology of the human mind. Or in other words, you could live on the North Pole in an igloo as an Eskimo, and they tell you you want to have this deep freezer, and you just buy it because they tell you to. Payments, personal transportation. By all means, you can invest into any personal transportation. Just be sure that you know what you're investing in and how that affects your overall generational wealth building. As we all know, the majority loves to flash status symbols that scream, I am better than you. what I can afford and you can't. And in reality, we all know it's either rented or in the background heavily struggle just to come across as being one that has really made it. And if you look at it that way, now any vehicle is nothing but a means of transportation. It doesn't matter what make and model it is, how many horsepower it has. It gets you from point A to B. If you're in the real estate business, a big CEO from a huge company, whatever, you're not only dressing well, you're also to be expected then automatically just by the psychology of mind, of the human mind, to drive around in a vehicle like a BMW, Mercedes-Benz, Corvette, Lamborghini, anything that screams I'm rich. And on top of that, live in a mansion, property that is worth like millions and millions of dollars. But all of that psychology mindset is what Hollywood and mainstream media has programmed people for generations. That is the sold American dream. Has only one purpose: keep one struggling, not getting ahead, and make the corporations richer, at the same time the ones that are invested in such corporations, as myself, for example. I'm just getting richer. While others have not been told how to beat a system and not looking for excuses why it feels the system is rigged against you, regardless of who is in the White House and runs the show. I mean, we all know, at least we all that are in the know, that it is the major corporations behind the scenes that giving charity donations to certain political parties and political individuals in return of particular favors. That is how this all operates behind the scenes, that no one openly talks about it. Everybody's blaming the system. expect them to fix the individual's issues, which in reality, how everything is working there, is that the entire system is geared toward those that are invested into businesses as an overall, and yeah, of course he had to now step it up. In an 18-wheeler you cannot get always around vehicles that are first moving a bit slower, so no biggie. But yes, investing is the key. That's the only way. It does not matter in which country you do live in. Each country has businesses, corporations, which in turn control the economy, and with each country is putting tariffs onto each other for imported goods and services, determine a good portion of the global economy and who pretty much gets the better deal out of it. That is why in Deutschland the economy is crumbling a bit, because those politicians over there they are really torn between many international sectors, as they do not produce their own energy. Their energy is referring to oil and gasoline. That sector in particular is imported from Russia. So it comes on all container ships, probably in the harbors of Hamburg, Bremen, and from there gets transported through the country via truck and river container ships. So everything is interlinked together. Most of us are too busy to not see how the true economy actually works, because most of us are too busy just to stay afloat and surviving. So now I'm driving, let's just say, a Mercedes-Benz, whether it's a C-Class, A-Class, it does not matter, then I cannot afford to fill that vehicle up. The problem lies not in that I purchased a vehicle and cannot afford to fill it up. The problem lies in that I'm overspending in regards from income ratio versus expense ratio that includes one-halves. And the majority of those are the ones who have not ever invested a dime into any business. I'm getting paid monthly, quarterly, twice a year, and a year from my income generating globally businesses, which however I'm automatically reinvesting into them. So the numismatics, physical gold, physical silver, that doesn't generate me no income. However, in the long term, it starts with a base investment, like a base savings and a high yield savings, for example. And there's only one trend: going up over the long term. Silver a bit more volatile because it's heavily controlled to suppress the actual value of it. Numismatics is a different sector that never will go down. It always will just keep their baseline value with only one trend, that it has potential to go up, all based on supply and demand. Same thing goes for art, referring to oil hand paintings, which history has outperformed just about any sector you can invest in the long term. Which yet is not a income generating asset class, just like gold, silver, and numismatics are. However, it is a value investment, basically. It rises in value, and what you can do to generate money off of it, tax-free that is, from my understanding anyway. I may be wrong on that. I have to get with my tax account on that one. You can basically donate it to a museum while it still stays in your possession, and you get paid from the museum while it is on display. Like I said, gonna have to get with my tax account on that particular one. As the art is a very specific investment sector. destination. That is just the driving time versus the distance calculated. Yeah, that does not include my lunch break in between. That's why hours of service regulation I do have to take. And overall it will shoot my 70-hour clock under an hour today, but all good. It's 2-9. By midnight, my recap starts picking up, and I can keep rolling tomorrow. After I got that figured out at the final today, when I'm heading to, it's all still Colorado here, but getting closer to the Nebraska state line. Current temperature is about 35 degrees Fahrenheit out here. Let me know below in the comments if you guys are interested into further discussions on how to beat the rat race from the 9 to 5, how to get ahead financially, how to stay ahead financially. How to set your own families up for generations to come, to be wealthy while just getting wealthier as time passes on, generation per generation, if it's the strategy and the discipline is applied correctly. I don't have no problem to guide you ladies and gentlemen there. Takes only one to break the cycle of being on the poor end of the things. It does not matter what your current job is, what your current after-tax income is. Where will is a way, and I can show you that way if you have that will. Let me know in the comment section below, so I know whether or not to create more videos on my ride-alongs. Like this is a ride-along video to discuss further the subject and the strategies that are out there available to anyone. So, yes, I do not charge for like my knowledge and wisdom on how you can beat the rat race, such as other financial advisors charge to do classes and all that kind of stuff. I volunteer my time for it. I don't need to charge for it. Okay. Appreciate for tuning in. For those that already been subscribed to my channels, for those that subscribe so you don't miss any further content that I'm putting out on it. The Long Haul Trucker is out.